Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into another stream. If you guys are new here in the morning, we come in, we take a look at NQ, see what happened during that overnight session, and then we go from there. We see what price can do going to that New York session. So let's get into it. Let's see what we got. Let me just cue up some music here. So typically, we started out by looking at the 4 hour. Here we go. So we're going to take a look at the 4 hour here. We can see already from this that price came down, came back, retested that previous weekly high breakout, and found a nice little bounce on it, right? So now potentially targeting all of those upper levels. Right, okay, so let's get into it. We're also typing this out inside our Discord, so that's www.paperchurch.io if you want to check us out. Let's so let's see what we got here on the day. Currently watching that this 4 hour came down and retested the previous weekly high breakout level here. Found a solid bounce to the upside. So one thing on the 4 hour that I am watching is the FVG from the FVG that has formed here to the downside. So if the body of the current 4 hour candle closes below the FVG top, we could be looking for some more downside here on the 4 hour. Otherwise 4 hour could see a solid continuation. On the hourly, same thing, right? We came down, retested the high breakout to the bodies were closing back above it. Here we got that. So hourly looks pretty strong. So far, price is still above the 1550 EMA, so that's giving us that continuation to the upside. Right, no reversal so far. But that is what we were watching here. Okay, on the hourly. Watching the previous hourly high as the potential point where price could sweep in reverse, given that there is no B above there. This would also give us an outside hour to the downside. Trade idea as long as the price holds below the closing price of the previous hourly candle here. Alright, so we would need to see price. If we sweep here, we would need to stay below the closing price of that previous hourly candle. And that will give us that continuation to the downside. Alright. In terms of the hourly, we also came back, retested this London Open. So over here we have this nice fair value gap that we retested. On the downside, on the hourly, we'll also note how price came down to retest the FEG on the downside, as well as the London's, or give us that bounce to the upside. Likely continuation. If I can spell continuation, that'd be sick. So hourly rate came down, bounced over here, gave that continuation here. On the 15 minutes, we do have a bit of liquidity. There's one right there. There's a few. There's this one right there that we kind of came down or swept. This was a nice breakout retest there. There we go. Let me get rid of. If you guys need a quick tip there. Alt Control H. If you toggle that toggles all of your indicators on and off. Just as a heads up there. In the 15-minute, we have this fair value gap on the downside. So if they really wanted to, they could come down, retest that before continuation to the upside. Right. So watching how this closing price of the previous hourly candle holds us. So on the 15-minute, we have a few liquidities on the upside, but so far she is looking strong. There is an FEG on the downside from. So we have this fair value gap from 29.8475 to 29.891. So if price does decide to come down, we could look for a potential bounce there. That's the only thing I see on the 15-minute here. I mean, we do have this fair value gap too right there. We're currently just kind of lollygagging around. On the 5-minute, here's something that we look at every day, right? So here we have the seek and destroy looking model, right? So on this, if we were looking for any kind of downside, we would want to see what price does once we sweep that London session high. So if price sweeps the London session high, right? So on the 5-minute, we are looking at S&D model to play out if and. So this is if and only if price sweeps the London session high and does not displace above it. Sweep and retrace back down is what we would be looking for. We also want to notate the OTU of the London session, to see if price will bounce there. So, So OCE of the London session here as well. We want to make sure that if price does come down, we're probably going to see a rising VIX around that 618 area with the liquidity. So we'll want to be careful if we sweep this and come down. There might be a potential little bounce here, be a little bounce, and then continuation like this, right? This is if and only if we sweep that. So that's all I got for today. For little price action reviews. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for tuning in. As always, love you. Appreciate you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you check out www.papertraders.io. So that's the best way to see what we're all about, things that we offer. Come hang out with us inside Discord. Make sure you check us out on Twitter at The Paper Traders. Make sure you check out Mr. Hayes at Hayes Beats. And I don't know why the fuck it zooms in. And we'll see you guys on the next